Castlevania Lords of Shadow is a reboot of the entire Castlevania series and mostly has nothing to do with the original series canon, though it does contain several familiar elements. In this new Castlevania, you take the role of Gabriel Belmont. Gabriel is a member of an order named the Brotherhood of Light, which is devoted to destroying evil in the name of God. The basic storyline is pretty typical. The world has fallen into darkness, people are losing their faith in God, and you end up being the one that's going to save them all. The Brotherhood of Light has sent many of their members on this exact same task, but all of them have failed. You find their bodies all over the game, and oftentimes they'll have scrolls on them which are read like diary pages. You learn of their overconfidence, sorrow, righteousness, greed, trust in God, despair, and you even read about some of them losing their own faith. This really helps with the storyline and gives you a sense of being up against the world when seeing so many dead that have attempted this same mission beforehand. This game can be described as a mix of the battle-heavy God of War with wall climbing and acrobatics of Prince of Persia. As far as platforming goes, it's all pretty basic and never reaches the complexity of something like Prince of Persia Sands of Time. The platforming gameplay tends to take care of itself, as there are rarely multiple options for where you can go next, so you kinda just always go to the most obvious and only spot you can reach. The platforming is quick and easy unless it's one of the larger bosses that you have to climb all over. The fighting system can be described as being sort of like God of War, but it's definitely different. It was really odd playing this game at first because I just finished God of War 3 right before I started Castlevania. You attack with what is essentially a whip in the form of a crucifix with both single target and area attacks. And then you have the traditional Castlevania sub-weapons like daggers and holy water, but now you also have fairies and dark crystals as well. There's also a magic system in place. You end up learning light and dark magic abilities which are used to enhance your offense or defense, and even to heal yourself. For example, while attacking with light magic on, you'll gain health back, and while attacking with dark magic on, you'll do extra damage. The magic can even be combined with the sub-weapons, so say you have light magic on and you decide to throw some holy water. It'll do the normal area holy water effect, but also will give you a temporary shield to absorb some incoming damage. At first the fighting system felt a bit dumbed down, but that's because of how the combo system works. As you progress through stages, you get experience points for killing enemies, bosses, and completing puzzles, which can then be used to purchase additional attack combinations. Once you get several of the basic combos unlocked, the game feels much better and not so basic. Looking over your known combo list is good, but you really learn them just from playing the game, and they'll end up coming out on their own when you need them to. As with most games, there are many bosses scattered throughout the world. They all look and sound great, but unfortunately they all feel like they're almost the same fight to me. The key to killing bosses in this game is to dodge. Once this becomes second nature, you'll be dodging attack after attack after attack. It's really pretty ridiculous how much you end up having to dodge in order to survive. You can't just go head on.
Apply directly to the forehead
And force your way through the bosses. They'll usually have a basic melee attack that will have one or two swings, then they'll have some sort of charge ability, possibly being able to teleport, and then they'll have a real special move or two. Getting this down after the first couple bosses makes the rest of them not terribly difficult, but you do end up only being able to maybe do 2 or 3 swings, then dodging over and over. There are also puzzles scattered throughout the game world, but most are extremely easy. Sometimes you don't even realize what you're doing is considered to be a puzzle, but when you take care of the deed at hand, you get rewarded for completing it. The soundtrack for this game is extremely fitting, but I can only recall maybe 3 or 4 different songs. There's a theme song that plays all over the entire game, and it really does instill the feeling of sorrow and despair. It's only one song, but it really fits the setting of the game. Most of the sound effects are great, and the voice acting, particularly Gabriel's, is awesome. I'm totally impressed with what they pulled off. They've come a long way since Symphony of the Night. One of the supporting characters that you rarely see in the game is voiced by Patrick Stewart. He narrates the introduction of every level, and he does a fantastic job with it. It's really strange at times though, because his character looks exactly like Sean Connery, but with Captain Jean-Luc Picard's voice. While the gameplay is good, I think there are stronger aspects of the game that really bring it all together. The sound is very moody with lots of ambience in the background. The pre-level storytelling along with the Brotherhood scrolls help glue the story together and make you understand the world and Gabriel a bit more. The graphics are phenomenal. Occasionally the frame rate does drop, but it's never an issue. There's a huge variety of terrains that you cover. The atmosphere is the combination of the audio and visuals. While playing the game, you do feel like you're alone, very far away from home, and up to complete an impossible task. The ending is so fitting for how you watch the story unfold. It's almost sad, but you understand why someone at the end becomes so angry. They absolutely set up the game for a sequel. The game is really slow up until around the 6th or 7th chapter when it finally starts to pick up steam. While the game isn't for everyone, it is one of those games that has such an amazing atmosphere that it really did draw me in, and it kept me wanting to know what was going to happen next. I can relate this feeling to watching Dragon Ball Z and waiting to see what was going to happen next on planet Namek. One of my favorite things in this game is finding the bodies of the Brotherhood and getting to read what their last few thoughts were. It's that engrossing of a world. I've kind of avoided next-gen gaming for a while because it has always felt very generic to me. God of War 3 was the first game of this type that I played all the way through, with Castlevania being the second. I'm glad that I haven't oversaturated my collection or gameplay time with this genre, because it can be really cool if done well, and I think Castlevania has succeeded there. I truly enjoyed the story of this game and cannot wait to play the sequel to see what happens next. I was worried at first when I found out it was a reboot of the series, but it turned out to be very good. It would be nice if they could restart the original canon and have both going at the same time, but I doubt there's any going back now. As a true retro gamer, I approve of this game and recommend at least a playthrough.
You are not as good as he said you would be. He said you would be worthy.